Hi guys. So just a little bit of a nice music introduction there. So yeah, this video is going to be very different to the other ones because I'm not going to talk about all the evil cabal, the Jesuits, the Freemasons and all that. I'm going to forget about all that stuff. And I'm going to talk something a little bit different. Something that's, not getting into all the stuff that I normally talk about. But what I want to talk about today is as my channel's called Life Truth Seeking, always seeking for the truth, always there for whatever lies ahead. One thing I do want to talk about in this video is about how life and people's patience. I've just put a post up about saying how I'm quite a slow paced and I'm quite relaxed. That's normally what my life is. I don't like the fast-paced life that most people live today. And it's true. Most people live in a very fast-paced life today. Most people do so much in one day and it's like, wow. Most people in this day and age are not content. They're not happy. They have to change their lifestyle all the time. They have to do something new all the time. And it's just a crazy lifestyle that just isn't for me. So I'm quite unique to that. And I think that is one reason why a lot of people today are not happy. A lot of people are stressed. It wasn't like it used to be. In the past, the amount of good conversations I've had with my grandparents now, they're not particularly awake, but I like talking to them about the past and how it was back then, and and I agree with them, they both say that in the past, when they were growing up in the 50s and 60s, and it was a lot calmer, life was easier, it was more of a simple life, and they were more happy then. And what it's done now for them, and bear in mind, these people are in the 70s and 80s, and what it's done for them is it's caused stress and upset, and it's kind of forced them into this fast-paced life. And now, because they're living this fast-paced life all the time, it's not as fast-paced to say for like ordinary people, ordinary younger people, but for older people like them, it is a fast-paced life. They have a lot of stuff that they still do in a day that's too much for them. The amount of stuff my gran looks at on the internet, and she goes from one page to another to another to another to another to another in just like 5 minutes. She's already visited like 6 or 7 websites in 5 minutes. And then you find something else you want to search, and you go on to the next thing, you watch this video, you do that. And even internet life is really fast-paced as ordinary life as well. The virtual life is becoming very fast-paced because they want to move us into the mainframe, which is the virtual life, not the real life. And yeah, everything is really fast-paced. Everyone wants to do something instantly. They can just do it now, can't they? I suppose you could say, like, quote-unquote, quality of life's got better. When really it hasn't. Has it? It's just an illusion. Because what is quality of life? Quality of life for me is to be content, happy, and placed in somewhere where you don't have to change. That's where it is now. It's in this modern era. It seems that people are always changing all the time. They're changing their lifestyle. They're doing different things all the time, and it's hard to keep up. Sometimes it's hard for me to keep up with other people around me because I'm not like that. I'm not that fast paced. I'm quite slow paced. I like the calm, happy life. For me, an ideal lifestyle is to live in a cottage in the middle of the countryside with my own farm, maybe woodlands and grow my own crops and everything, and be content there, and just live a nice, happy, slow-paced life, and I'm around beautiful scenery with people I love, and even animals I love. That would be my ideal area where I don't have to worry about money and bills and where I'm going to go next in life, because we live in a world where it's survival, really. When you think about it, like I said, it is a slave system. So in order, you have to work for the big corporate entity system. You have to work in the corporate system to survive and get money, and it is, and then what do you do? What do most people do with that? Well, they buy all these materialistic goods and everything that they think they need, and then they're still not happy, and they still want more materialistic goods. It's I think that's part of their program, to make people want and want and want, and more narcissistic, more materialistic, more ignorant towards themselves, and so they're never happy. It's like what do they call it? Dopamine effect, isn't it? It's like, now it's like a complete feedback loop of dopamine all the time. Or dopamine is what humans have naturally which is released if they've been, once upon a time, if it would be released if they were in danger, and it would cause them to run faster or something, and give that energy, that extra energy. Whereas now that dopamine's used in all sorts of stuff, especially in social media. If you put a photograph on Facebook and you want that gratification from your peers, you feel like you need that gratification. It's a feedback loop, and you can put a photo on Facebook or Instagram and you wait for the likes to kick in, and you get your likes and you're happy. But then suddenly that dopamine goes, and and then the next day it's like, oh, I'm going to have to post another photograph now to get that complete, constant feedback of from my peers. And that's the type of world we live in today. And it's like, I know someone on Facebook that he went to Liverpool in the morning, and looked around there, then he drove for a few hours to Stratford upon Avon, and went to where William Shakespeare was born, and he went and looked around there, and then later on in the same day he drove all the way to York and went on a ghost tour, then went on a night out in York, and then the next morning drove all the way to Dover, got on a ferry from Dover, England, and crossed the Channel to Calais in France, and he drove through France and went to Paris. He was in Paris later at that evening, stayed in Paris, and then went to Belgium, and I think he drove to the Netherlands, and that was within a few days, and it's crazy. And then he drove back again and was in work the next week. It's like, what? And this is the stuff he's put on Facebook, and that's just one friend. And this is like a lot of people's lifestyle these days, and this is where it's going. People's lives are becoming so quick. You have to get so much done in a certain day. It's like, even for like stuff to have a bit of fun, okay, we're going to go swimming in the morning, we're going to go in the tan beds later in the morning, and then in the afternoon we're going to go for a Sunday, like I don't know, a big Sunday. Say it's Sunday. Let's not say it's Sunday. A big afternoon tea or something, and then we're going to go for a big long walk, and then after that we're going to drive down for a couple hours to the next city to see some friends, and then and then after that we're going to go on a night out, and then we're going to wake up the next morning, and then we're going to go to the beach, and then we're going to go to a theme park and on the same day, and then we can try to see if we can fit going swimming, and then maybe a bit of ice skating later on in the evening to dance some, because there's ice skating rings in the UK, especially there's one called Doncaster Dome, and near where I live, and they have discos on ice skating rings, and I know some people that go there, and that's all just in the same day. And it's not just life in general, it's like even the virtual life, the internet life is so fast, isn't it? Even for me, like, even I'm quite fast paced on the internet. look at. I try to slow myself down because of how fast it is, and I try to keep that pace slowed down because when you slow things down, you feel happier. I feel happier. I think that's why people are not happy, because they have to do things so fast, and when they do things so fast and they do so much in a day, or in it you they lose patience, and they don't have that patience anymore. And I think that's what it is. They lose patience and they're not content, and they get stressed. They causing mental health problems, and it's just getting faster and faster. People, it's just they introduce more stuff to us, and life becomes quote unquote easier under their control. End quote. That's what I mean, under their control. And you have access to so much stuff now. Things are going to get faster, and people are not going to be patient. You can look at 5, 10 different websites in 5 minutes. 10, 20 years ago, you couldn't do that. So, yeah, in the internet age and the age of AI is going to be even worse. The internet age has accelerated this ignorance and this fast paced life. The age of AI is just going to accelerate even further as more people have access to things. But it doesn't mean it's good, if you know what I mean. Where's the slow paced life that we should have, that I should belong to? Is there a different realm where there is a slower paced life? Like what I see in this picture here, look, you've got the cat, you've got the fireplace, you've got the nice candles. It's like a log cabin or something. Yeah, that'll be perfect for me. I also like to read, so yeah, give me some books any day. When people do these things where they go on days out, if I was to go on a day out, I'll just go to one place and do one thing. Like, why do you have to do loads and loads of different things and loads of different places in one day? Spread it out. Slow down. You're going too fast. You're gonna, it's gonna cause problems for you. It will cause mental problems. I do believe that. I kind of tried a fast-paced life a few years ago. I tried to get so many things done in one day, and it's stressful. It's stressful. So yeah, I'm quite slow. Some people think I'm too slow. I'm too lazy sometimes, but that's just how I am. I just say people are too fast paced. People have to. People want to get things done very, very quick, very early. Like like people now, like 18, 19. The first thing they want to do is get the driving license and get their driving license and pass the test, don't they? At 17, because everyone else is doing it, so they've got to do it as well. And if any later than that, it's like, what are people gonna ask, why haven't you got your driver's license yet? You know what I mean? It's like, I'm only 18, 19. That's what they think. That's what the 18, 19-year-olds think today. But yeah, like it's like me. I'm in my mid-20s now, and even people in the mid-20s, like I look at some of my friends around me, they're just so fast. They do things. It's like the way careers are as well. It's like, okay, I've just known someone that's moving down to London because he's got a job down there. He's leaving all his family up here, moving down to London just for this new job. So yeah, very fast paced. People need to slow down. People really do need to slow down, I think. And it's a bit of a different video, but yeah, it's just another side of things on how I see things. The world is far too fast. People do so much in a short period of time, and it must be tiring for them as well. It must be exhausting. It must be mentally draining, and it'll probably affect them down the line. Slow and steady wins a race. That's what I always say. Slow and steady wins the race. People always get there in the end. It's like for me. Yeah, I want to work my way up. I want to do things, good things, and have a good life. But I'm in no rush. And how I see it now as well, I see the agenda taking place. They want to rush everything, don't they? And the world, they want to change the world so quickly. It's like when the pandemic hit, the world just changed like that, and it's like, whoa, okay, frig. And people adapted to it like that. I don't know how people just adapted to it like that. I couldn't adapt to it like that, but people did. People just accept it straight away. It's like, okay, you don't even have time to think about it. That's up to them. But yeah, if you slow yourself down and pace yourself and live a more calm life, I feel like you think more straight. You're able to think better, more thoroughly, things through, and you're more, you're able to have a deep, thoughtful experience in my eyes, and I think that's good for you. Anyway, I'll leave it there, guys. Thank you for your time.